Somehow it appears that I have become a reviewer of eco-friendly brands here on YouTube, which is strange because as someone who tries to buy pretty much everything secondhand always, I really don't buy new things very often. But I do like making those videos where I rank brands according to their sustainability claims or reviewing things that I personally get a lot of use out of and absolutely love so that I can help you from buying something that inevitably you're gonna throw away because you hate it or it sucks. I also do enjoy being the person who will call these brands out on their bullshit because that's kind of how I see it. But with that being said, since I don't buy things new very often, the things that you will see me talking about that I actually like rave about, use all the time, they're my favorite things. I've been using them for years and I've given them a thorough test before I recommend them to anybody. But some of you have brought to my attention that other people don't agree with my review of these products. A few of my absolute favorite brands, zero waste swaps, products that I've used, again, for years, have awful reviews. Today, I'm going to be reacting to some of those, and I'm very excited about this because I feel like anybody from any niche can take this video and make it about their niche, right? I feel like this is a trend that could transcend myself. So send this video to any of your favorite YouTubers. Let's see if we can get them to do it. And without further ado, let's talk about some awful reviews that my favorite zero waste swaps have gotten. All right, we gotta bring in the laptop for this because we gotta read the reviews, obviously. First up, we have the Misto olive oil sprayer, or basically a reusable aerosol for oil. Right out the gate, so many people tell me you just don't need this in general at all, just like light hand your oil, whatever. If that's what you wanna do, then fine, don't buy the Misto. But I genuinely keep mine next to my oven, my stove, and I use it nearly every single day. And I've been using the same one for at least 3 years now with no issues. It's a really useful product that I purchased. Like I said, I've gotten so much shit over the years for people saying, you don't even need to buy that, don't buy that, don't promote that, bleh. Whatever, if it stops people from buying those cans that they're throwing away probably every 2 weeks, I'm here for it. Regardless, the reviews, well, some of the reviews, don't agree with us at all. This dumb thing doesn't spray worth the beans. I don't know what that means. It comes out in a pitiful drizzle, and you also have to pump the top to build up pressure to spray. Yes. It makes a mess and runs down the side as well. I don't know if mine's just defective or what, but it's junk. So I don't know if I need to tell you that I disagree with this review, but like I disagree with every part of this review. I find it really interesting that this reviewer mentions you have to like pump it to build up the pressure. It's not a pump spray, which basically a pump spray is pressurizing each pump, but an aerosol needs to be pumped up to build the pressure. That's why those aerosol cans that you like can buy from the store are really problematic because they're pressurized. They usually can't be sent to the recyclers because they will explode because they're already pressurized. So the alternative is, yeah, pumping your Misto a few times before you spray it. What? It's like 5 seconds? Is that really that inconvenient? Okay. Regardless, if you use the sprayer properly, it definitely sprays fine. In my experience, again, using this product for over 3 years, I don't know. It says on the Target app that this is brushed aluminum, but it's actually plastic. Cheaper plastic that breaks easily and should not be in the kitchen. Also, if you have carpal tunnel or weak hands, this will not be easy. Okay, I'm so confused about this because number one, the Mistos are not plastic. I mean, the top like screw thing is, but the whole rest of it is aluminum. I have carpal tunnel and I don't have any problem using it because you don't have to like be intricate with your fingers. You just have to pull the thing up and down. If using it hurts your hands because you have carpal tunnel, I guess that is what it is, but I also have carpal tunnel and that just hasn't been my experience. Full disclaimer. You know, I actually think that the problem with the Misto and its negative reviews is people don't realize that there is a certain way to use it and there is a reason to use it that way, right? Pumping it up is important for the pressurizing like we already talked about, but on top of that, you have to not turn the bottle upside down. So if you're spraying something and you're doing it like this, the oil is no longer at the bottom where the straw is to grab the oil and spray it out. I feel like that also leads to a lot of these issues that we're seeing in the reviews, like leaking or saying it doesn't spray worth a shit. If you're using the Misto properly, it works great and it lasts for a long time. So, I mean, in my experience.
Okay.
But I also think that if that's the case and Misto is getting bad reviews for these reasons, Misto needs to be more clear about how it is used on their packaging so people aren't making this mistake and leaving awful reviews for what I think is a great product. Up next is a product that if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know that I love. I don't know if you love it, but it is Native deodorant. So once again, I've been using Native for probably over 4 years at this point. I switched to it because I was looking for a deodorant that was aluminum free, paraben free, all those sort of things. And I was specifically looking for one that my partner would be willing to use. She was using Old Spice at the time, and I didn't want her to continue doing that. And seriously, it took me years to find one that she was okay with and has used with me ever since, and that is Native deodorant. I've also talked a lot on this channel about how I feel that I and this audience had something to do with the fact that they switched or they created the option from plastic over to cardboard, which we love to see. And yeah, I could talk about how much I love Native for a long time, but I won't do that because today we're gonna talk about some of the awful reviews people left for it. If I could rate this 0 stars, I would. This is the worst deodorant I've ever used. It gave me a horrible, painful rash. It also does nothing to keep the funk away. Terrible. Obviously, I disagree that it does nothing to stop you from smelling because that's why I use it. But as far as the rash goes, there are different ingredients in so many different products that can cause you to break out in a rash. Native has never done that to me, but if you are sensitive to some of the ingredients, then it definitely could do that to you. It has a lot of natural ingredients that are usually the things that people have allergic reactions to. Personally, and this is so sad for me as an environmentalist who is also like stereotypically meant to be sort of hippie-ish, I have a sensitivity or maybe an allergy to patchouli. When I was younger, again, on this years-long journey to find a deodorant that would work for me that was natural, I tried the one at Lush, which is called like Aramako or something like that. It's a bar deodorant that doesn't have any packaging, but it has patchouli in it. And I tell you, the rash I got from this deodorant, my armpits were red, itchy, it was burning, it was awful. I also get headaches when my friends and family burn patchouli incense around me, which is just, what a failure. As a hippie, Shelby. But yeah, definitely not expecting anybody to use a deodorant that breaks them out, and that sucks for anybody who it did. This deodorant would not apply to my skin. It was the consistency of dried glue, so I have no idea if it is effective. That's an interesting review, Elam540. I will say that like natural deodorants, because they have natural oils and butters and stuff like that in them, they're definitely not as smooth going on as your deodorants that have a lot of synthetics, have the aluminum and all that sort of stuff. So I guess if you're switching from something that's like that to this, it could feel weird, but to say that it doesn't apply is like a little far. Okay, this review is interesting and also a little sad for me. Let me know if you guys agree with this at all in the comments. It says, the deodorant itself is great. I'm giving it a 1-star rating based off the packaging alone. The plastic-free packaging is not functional at all. There's no way to push up the product and keep it up while you apply. I will say that definitely, like, it's not as convenient as their plastic one because there's not a little plastic push-up to hold it in place. I don't think that is possible with a plastic-free deodorant, and I think that the reason that it hasn't bothered me and a lot of other people who try to live a zero-waste lifestyle is because every other deodorant that is packaged in cardboard is like this. But if you've never tried another one like that, then maybe that makes sense. But basically what I do is I push up the tube and then I hold the side of the tube tight enough to where the deodorant won't push down as I'm using it. And then it pushes just back down in the back when you go to put it in. I guess it's a justifiable complaint, but also like there's a pretty simple solution. I do it every day. It slips back down the tube when applying and you'll end up scraping your underarms deodorant on your underarms with the tube itself, guaranteed. The noise the packaging makes scratching against itself makes me want to scratch my eardrums out. I mean, it's cardboard. The worst part of all is the company still sells plastic packaging alongside the plastic free. Why not just sell a refillable set instead? So they actually do now have a refillable set. Which, yeah, definitely, like, if the refillable set was made of cardboard, then that would make the most sense. I see this review as justified, but also, like, that this person probably didn't put in like any effort to solve the problem without this review, because it's definitely not that big of a deal to do it, to hold the sides of the tube so that your deodorant doesn't fall down while you put it on. But obviously everyone's entitled to their own review. Ah, yes, the final straw. So if you didn't know, I love Final Straw. It is the final straw that I have ever bought. I had so many straws before I got this one, and I still have them. I keep them around my house for people who come over, when I want to use them in the house or whatever. But the one that I take out with me when I leave the house is my Final Straw, and I love it. But also I did a podcast with one of the founders of Final Straw when it first launched. I think before it even made it to the public, it was still just on like Kickstarter or whatever. And Emma is an amazing person and just such a passionate human being. And I love to see brands that are doing good things also run by cool humans. So big fan of Final Straw here, but some of the reviews are not good. And what I'm finding so far with the two things that we've talked about and a little bit of what I'm seeing here is people don't take the time to learn how to operate this new, kind of innovative a lot of the times, different than the norm product, right? And what I'm seeing here with the straw is, obviously with a straw that is bendable, it's not gonna be as simple as a straw that is just straight. So let's see. What a joke. This has to be the most useless invention in the world. Molds right away, just drink out of the cup. This product is a joke. I guess I should have said that from the beginning. You don't need a straw if you don't use one already, right? I personally use a straw whenever I go out to restaurants. I don't love putting my mouth on the cups. I'm just gonna be real with you. I also, anytime I'm drinking anything other than water, I want a straw, and sometimes even with water, and that is fucking okay, because I've been shamed a lot on this channel too about using a straw when you could just not use one. And it's so stupid and petty because people with disabilities, some people do need straws, and I personally think that the Final Straw is actually a really good option for that because it has silicone at the top. I say that because with certain disabilities, like just an all metal straw is not a good option. So I always think the Final Straw is a good option for that. But two, molds right away, it's just not true, especially if you're using it the way you're supposed to, right? If you're using it when you're out, coming home and cleaning it, and I honestly don't clean mine every time, and I've never had a problem with mold in general, but if you're taking care of it the right way, then it's not going to do that. This is an interesting review here from Classic Courage. They left a decent review for the straw. It got 4 stars, however, for no reason on this review other than the fact that the logo is justified left on the straw. Must be a lefty in charge, as most logos on pencils and pens are justified on the right. Still decent straw. I just got a kick out of that one. Like, what? I'm so confused. You gave it 4 stars because of that? Because nothing else in the review explains why it would get any less than a 5? Maybe this is just the person that like never leaves a 5 also. This is an interesting review because whenever I did the podcast with Emma, one of the things we talked about, and it frustrates me so much, is when other brands knock off the popular brand because it's blowing up. And this happened a lot with them. After they came out with their straw, which by the way has a lifetime warranty, a bunch of other brands were trying to like rip it off and made a really, really shitty version. And so people were getting that. They were like searching collapsible straw because they saw the viral video going over Facebook and all that sort of stuff. They get this subpar product from the copycats who don't have a lifetime warranty, who made a shitty product, and then they leave a bad review for the Final Straw. It's happening with Pila. Other brands stole their formula, which is good for more cases to be compostable, but when a bigger brand steals the smaller brand's formula and then just replicates it, I don't think that's an ethical thing to do. Here's what Emily has to say about this. And keep in mind, the Final Straws I have are from years ago, from their first prototype. So if this is happening, the straw that this person has is not the same that I have. I've bought several of these over the years and just ordered a 4-pack on Prime Day. The quality has gone seriously downhill. They're now made in China and they're so flimsy. The plastic inside the metal tube is crimped and will not open up. They're literally garbage. Ironic, since they're supposedly made to keep plastic out of the trash. Super bummed. I can speak to the straw I have, but Emily is claiming she bought this like in June of this year. So take that for what you will. The toothbrush I use and love the brand is called Brush with Bamboo. I think they are the most transparent, ethical, and the ones leading the way in making a fully compostable toothbrush, which I think they've actually got down now. I'm not sure. I know they were using plant-based stuff, but it wasn't compostable yet. This is a review by DJ. DJ says, not environmentally friendly packaging. Packaging is not environmentally friendly. Each toothbrush is individually wrapped under the cardboard with plastic that has no indication of being plant-based or commercially compostable, and therefore would not be accepted by any facility. So Brush with Bamboo does have a little plastic like outer around their toothbrushes. Actually, mine haven't been around my toothbrushes. They've just been on the inside of the box, but it is compostable plastic. I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't have disclaimed that it was compostable because I feel like they do. Package came with tape as well, which isn't a big deal personally, but does not match the website description. Don't appreciate the false marketing. This item cannot be returned, so no way to inform the manufacturer of the dissatisfaction with the product. So I tried to get these reviews from third-party platforms. This one's coming specifically from Amazon. So I find it interesting that you can't return this item, and also I think some of the packaging problems that they're complaining about might also be coming from the fact that you ordered it on Amazon. Of course, there's always room for improvement, but for me, it still like serves the purpose of why I bought it. But also when you're ordering from a place like Amazon, you can't really differentiate what they're doing versus what Brush with Bamboo is doing, and so just want to say that, DG. This is one of my Brush with Bamboo toothbrushes. Cardboard box, no tape. It does have this plastic bag. Now, it's not plastic. I know it's compostable, but I want to see if their claim that it has absolutely no disclaimer that it is compostable is on here. It literally says compostable packaging. Inside wrapper is plant-based. Oh, wrapper can be composted at home or in a municipal compost bin. So there you go. Unless at some point Brush with Bamboo wasn't putting that disclaimer on here, then that review is not fair. Tastes like wood. I hated the aftertaste the toothbrush leaves in my mouth. It tastes like wood, but the brush is great for gum cleaning. Oh, what? I genuinely thought they just misspelled gum, and they said gun.
They meant gun, they mean gun. They use bamboo toothbrushes to clean their guns.
I cleaned my Beretta 92 and my Glocks with these brushes, and they work just great. Highly recommend them for gun cleaning. Otherwise, they suck. This person's name is Texican Lone Star. The vibes I'm picking up from this person, I don't picture as being someone who bought a bamboo toothbrush because they wanted to use it as a toothbrush, but then they also reviewed the taste. So they obviously didn't buy them just to clean their guns. You got me with this one. I saw it taste like wood and thought this could be a good one to read, and then wow, did we really just go on a journey there? I will say though, the first few weeks that I used a bamboo toothbrush, I thought I wasn't, I'm getting that weird feeling in my mouth. Whoa, okay. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to stick with it because the taste and the texture is just like weird, but it's been years now and I don't have that issue anymore. But I understand that not everybody is willing to push past that. Personally, I know I'm willing to sacrifice a lot in the name of like buying something that's more environmentally friendly. I'd love to know if you've tried a bamboo toothbrush and if you had that feeling and you were like, ugh, can't do this, or if you pushed through it, or if you're just like, fuck it, I'm going back to plastic. Let me know in the comments. Another product I absolutely love, and you will not change my mind, are stasher bags. I, again, have been using stasher bags for years, and as someone who reviews like sustainable brands and a bunch of different brands that I've worked with over the years, send me their version of reusable silicone bags, and they always suck. The only brand that actually really works, lasts the test of time. You can microwave them, boil them, put them in the dishwasher. They don't stain. They hold up. They are so high quality. They're also a B Corp and 1% for the planet and woman owned. I'm a big stasher bag fan, and you can't convince me otherwise with all these boo-boo other brands trying to come up with them. So you won't convince me otherwise, but some people, I guess, disagree. Well, this person specifically says, I received a counterfeit stasher bag. And so once again, keep in mind that these reviews are coming from Amazon. So who knows what's going on over there in those Amazon warehouses. Order your stasher bags directly from the source or from Earth Hero. I have a discount code linked below. This review is for the half-gallon size. The item I received seems to be a counterfeit. As a few other reviewers have seen, it doesn't seal at the top and there are gaps so that it's not airtight or able to store liquids. Real stasher bags can seal deal completely. I purchased some real stasher bags from the official website and compared to confirm that I had received a counterfeit. It's a shame because the authentic product is really useful and people who receive this bag immediately might be put off. Well, I guess this isn't really a review for stasher bags, but I thought that was interesting. So beware if you're purchasing from places that aren't like official websites. And that makes me think that some of these bad reviews might be for a product that they got that's not actually a stasher bag. So that's also a bit concerning. I don't disagree with the fact that stasher bags seem expensive and that they are, right? The initial cost up front, $10 for a reusable bag seems crazy. But if you use it on a weekly basis for years, like I have, they're worth it. And honestly, I haven't used a plastic Ziploc bag in so long, but I honestly think these are better just like in general, a better user experience. And so I will say that for them, but I understand the complaint of them being expensive. I don't disagree with you. Good size and plastic no more. Drop a star because it's made in China. I'm not sure what everybody's personal opinion is about manufacturing in China, but I personally think that if you are a B certified corporation, that means that your entire supply chain has been vetted to meet a certain standard of social and environmental claims. So I think that it's completely fine. And honestly, in order to compete in today's market, people are saying it's expensive as it is and it's manufactured in China. I can't imagine what it would be if it were manufactured in a place that people perceive as being more ethical, because there are plenty of issues with that as well. I think this conversation is very multidimensional, but take that for what you will. So those were some awful reviews of my absolute favorite zero waste swaps. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you want this to become a series, if you want to see other YouTubers do it, please let me know in the comments and send this video over to them. But thank you so much for watching. Definitely check the links in the description to the things I talked about, to follow me on Instagram, and to possibly come meet me on September 24th in Washington, D.C. And remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye, guys.